Hi everyone, Chris here with another recent vinyl finds video, and I'm keeping it Kiwi, all New Zealand records in this bunch. First up, what's playing now? The Primrose Path, the new LP from Jonathan Bree, his first solo record. Jonathan Bree used to be in the Brunettes, a great pop band, and this is another great pop record, but quite different from the Brunettes. More melancholic, more orchestral, with brass, violins and cello, and bearing the influences of label mates like Princess Chelsea from his label Little Chief Records. She does backing vocals on this, but some of the songs sound like they could be on a Princess Chelsea album actually, which is no bad thing. Reviews have kind of talked about this being an instant classic, and I concur. It's a great record, I highly recommend it. I've been on a bit of a drone experimental noise kind of thing lately, and I found this at a local record store for a really good price. I'm really pleased with this. This is White Winged Moth. It's on Poon Village Records. The packaging is great, but kind of quite susceptible to tearing. I won't take it all out. Kind of clear vinyl with a slight green tinge. And you've kind of got this silver on white. I don't know if you can see that, White Winged Moth, featuring Dean Roberts, who used to be in a band called Thela, who I saw once open for Sonic Youth. I think the lineup was Thela, Foo Fighters and Sonic Youth. And kind of staying with the kind of noise and drone, a split 12-inch from two New Zealand groups, Nova Scotia from Wellington, with A Million Corpses of Dead Bees, and I, with High Road, I from Dunedin. This is on Tipped Bowler Tape Records, Tipped Bowler Tapes. I, featuring people like Peter Stapleton and Peter Porteous, who've been on the New Zealand drone and noise scene for a while. And Nova Scotia is Richard White, Rick Jensen, Guy Nichols and Dean Brown. And good. I'm going to do a bit of a, I think I'm going to do a radio show and video soon on New Zealand drone and noise, because I just love it. I've been listening to lots of it, and I thought it was time to do a feature on it. So not droney at all. This is who is it? Wild Bill Ricketts. Now Wild Bill Ricketts, I think, has been a member of the Phoenix Foundation, with their great double LP Fandango out at the moment. This is just a 4-track, well, I suppose you still call it an LP, they're quite long tracks. It's 33 RPM, called West Wind. It's out on Wonderful Noise, a Japanese label who specialise in kind of New Zealand downbeat electronica kind of releases. And this has got the who's who of the Wellington kind of, downbeat kind of scene really. People like Ricky Gooch, Mara TK, Toby Lang are all on here. Really nice record. I think out in quite limited numbers, and not in limited numbers, and selling like hotcakes. In fact, it's #1 in the New Zealand charts, have gone gold, is Fat Freddy's Drop, their third LP, Blackbird. A double LP, not a gatefold, 2 discs on here. And I mean, you know, Fat Freddy's Drop are so universally adored that I think people have kind of, there's a little bit of a kind of a critical backlash against them. But I think this is a great LP. I really like it. Probably of the 3, this is my favourite. I think there's maybe, I don't know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with those other 2 LPs. It really isn't. But this is really, I'm enjoying it. It seems to have a really nice feel to it. There's an insert in here as well, I think. Given that it's a band of, I think, 7 people, multi-instrumentalists, very little information about that. There's kind of like a little kind of narratives here about the 3 places where they recorded it on the insert, and you've got the track listing obviously on the back, but not a lot of other information. But yeah, it's nicely spread over 2 LPs, and again I recommend that. In earlier videos you may have seen me talk about Unvokt, which is a German label specialising in releasing New Zealand archival material from the 80s, particularly from the South Island of New Zealand. They've last year did a subscription series of 4 releases from Bill Doreen and the Builders of variations on that group. This year they're doing another subscription series of South Island of New Zealand releases. This is the second release, and this is probably my favourite Unvokt release so far, The World. This is a 6-track EP recorded in 1983. It was going to be released on Flying Nun Records and it never got released. The band split up, and I think they were Christchurch based. It was recorded in Night Shift Studios, which I think is in Auckland. And it's, people think of early Flying Nun as all jangle, but it wasn't. If you listen to that compilation, Time to Go, the Southern Psychedelic Moment, 1981 to 1986, the songs on this would all fit really comfortably onto that record. And there's some really great tracks in here. Strange Man, that's one that stands out to be. Mystery. So quite limited, I think it's 250 copies, but as a really interesting piece of kind of New Zealand music, Flying Nun history and New Zealand archival release, well worth picking up. I recommend this. And at the same time, Unvokt have gone back to Bill Doreen and released this, Bill Doreen and the Hat. So the people you've got on here, you've got Lisa Segal and Hamish Kilgour of The Clean, but also of, what do they call themselves? The Mad Season? The Mad Scene? I can't put my fingers on it quickly, but, and yeah, this was recorded in 1989. It's had various releases. I think it's cassette releases and a CD release on Power Tool Records. I think they may be all slightly different versions, slightly different track listing or mixes or whatever. But this is the first vinyl release out on Unvokt. This is limited to 200 copies, and Bill Doreen has quite a cult following, so if you're into him you should definitely pick this up. It's a good one. And a couple of 7-inches to finish really quickly. Picked this up second hand. I'm just slowly working my way through picking up all of the 3Ds material on vinyl that came out. 3D is probably one of my favourite bands of all time. This is Jesus and River Burial. There's 2 pressings of this, a merge pressing which I think is on black vinyl and the Flying Nun pressing which is on clear. And the other 7-inch I got was this. It's David Kilgour and the Heavy Eights out on Merge Records, and it's Christopher Columbus. Really, really nice song from David Kilgour, backed by Shifting Sands, which is a cover, and I was going to look up who it's a cover of, but I forgot, although in the back of my head I'm thinking Incredible String Band. Certainly it's from that era, written in 1967, Shifting Sands, written by Baker Knight. I should have looked it up, eh? So, yeah, there's my recent New Zealand finds. Thanks for watching, and as ever I appreciate your comments and your feedback, and you can catch up with info on videos and the radio shows on Counting the Beat, Facebook.com/Counting the Beat. Alright, cheers everyone, bye.